We're talking about a city of, let's say, 4,000 years old, at least. But let's cross it safely to the clock tower. If you are in Tel Aviv, it's or a walking distance from the center, or just take a bus. It's not so difficult. We reach the clock square, and from here we will begin our tour. But not before. I will sit a little bit because it's going to take us a few minutes to understand what's happening here. First of all, you saw that the old city of Jaffa is actually on top of the hill. The rest is flat. Then why Jaffa is different than any other place around here? It's very easy. Israel was built, Israel is on the border, on the bridge between Africa, Asia and Europe. If you wanted to conquer the world, you had to start from Israel, and then the Middle East, and then Europe, Africa and Asia. Then in that case, so many people conquered Israel, destroyed all evidence, built their own cities, and someone else came, destroyed those evidence, built their own cities. All right, then why everything is flat here and only Jaffa, the whole city of Jaffa, is not? Mainly because in Israel there are few places that if you want to control this country, and by that to control the world, you must actually conquer it. One of them is the most important harbor in the middle of Israel, and that is the port of Jaffa. Then Jaffa became to be a target. City on top of a city, on top of a city, on top of a city. What you saw there, the small hill, it's not small hill. It's actually artificial layers of cities. City on top of a city, on top of a city, on top of a city. Then Jaffa as a city was more important to the one who came to conquer the world than the one who wanted to visit Jerusalem. Sounds strange, isn't it? But Napoleon never been in Jerusalem, but he conquered Jaffa. Richard the Lionheart, he was a crusader. He came for Jerusalem, never been in Jerusalem. The importance of Jaffa as part of the highway for controlling the world is more important than Jerusalem as the oldest city. Then that was the square. And it looked like a market in the Arabic time. But then the government, the new rulers say, all right, we do have a huge connection from here to Europe. A lot of people are coming to Jerusalem to see Israel, and this is the entrance of that place. That's not good. Then in that case, he decided to change it. I'm going to try something then. If it won't be easy, then for me, then excuse me for that. What I mean by trying something, I'm going to show you some pictures, and that's for the first time in my tours, mainly because I don't know how to deal with the gimbal and the pictures together. Then I'm trying to do that, all right? Let me try to show it to you, and you will tell me if it's okay by you, if it was okay or not. Well, you can hear the bells of the church. This is the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Turkey, Lebanon, Syria, Egypt, Sudan. But look at that, trying to figure out, Israel, such a small place, but still very important to understand the location. I mean, you can see that Israel is a bridge between Africa, Asia, and Europe. If you look at the map of Israel, including the West Bank and Gaza Strip, this is Gaza. We are here at Jaffa, Tel Aviv, Yafo. Yafo, it's Jaffa in Hebrew. And you can see that that's the highway to the rest of the world, and it's the closest port to Jerusalem as well. There's a lot of wind here, and this is the square that we are actually staying here. You will recognize it soon, but you can see that it's kind of an Arabic market with camels, horses, fruit and vegetables, and you will recognize that. Look at that arch. It is. See the arch? That used to be the police station of Jaffa. Later on, it used to be that Kishle, the Arab, the Ottomans police station, the British police station later on. Israeli used it too. And one of the men who actually been captured there, been there in the prison, said, one day I will buy that place and I will turn it into something else. And he did it. He bought it and built a beautiful hotel, 5-star hotel, an amazing hotel at the entrance to Jaffa. Then you saw that picture, let us see another one. I think it works. And here, remember that he decided to build something instead of it? That he decided to build the clock tower, which is right here. Then you can see that he turned it first to a small garden, and soon you will see the clock tower. That's the Kishle, the police station, right here. Why to build a clock tower in the middle of the city? First of all, he wanted to make it a little bit more European. For that, he started to build the new Saraya, the new police station, right here. And look at that building. It doesn't look like a regular ancient Arabic place, although there are so many Arabic motifs here, but that, for sure, it's something else. And then he said, the Sultan at that time, Abdul Hamid II, is celebrating 25 years as a ruler of the city, and he needs to get a present. Then they decided to build for him clock towers. There were 5 clock towers in Israel and 100 clock towers all over the place. And remember, we talked about the market, the garden. You can see it right here in front of you. And here, he's gonna build a clock tower. It wasn't so easy. It's quite expensive. Then, as you can see here, he already built the 2 stories, but they had no money to build the 3rd story. Gosh, what will happen with Jaffa? To the left, that is the first shopping mall in Israel. Belongs to the Greek Orthodox Church until today. The first layer were the shops, and the upper part is where the shopkeepers, actually shop owners, lived. It was covered. And in Israel, it was so important because of the humidity and the heat. There was someone who actually had a watch. At that time, we are talking about 1903, 1906. Nobody had watches. Usually they had a sunlight, but in that kind of day, which is a little bit gray, there's no option for sunlight. They didn't know what's the time. Then they used to go to the people and ask him, Yosef, what's the time? Yosef, what's the time now? Yosef, what's the time? Oh, you got the message. It's annoying. Then he decided to donate the third part to the clock tower. Now look at the differences. First and second one, look at behind, above the windows and the doors. You can see that they decorated it, and it's not easy to decorate places that built with limestone. Oh, sorry, with sandstone, Kýchar. Not easy. Look at the clock that he donated, the window that he donated, totally flat. Now look at the columns, the kind of columns at the side of the tower. It's round here, a little bit noisy. Yeah, this is the center of the city, and I started the tour early to avoid it. Then you can understand what will happen soon. Look at the second story, still round corners. What about the third one? Totally flat. And here it is. We do have a clock tower. We had 5 clock towers, I already mentioned it. One of them was on top of Jaffa Gate in Jerusalem. And I'm sure that you watch my videos, and if not, please do that, and you will see that there's no clock tower at Jaffa Gate anymore, mainly because the British didn't like it. Now when we know everything, let's continue the tour, but let me organize my bag first. Beautiful, isn't it? Let me show you what actually happened at the day that they published it to the public. They celebrated. In 1903 or 02, you can see the clock tower here. Kind of 2 kiosks that are not here anymore. Flags of the Ottomans. The shopping mall that you already know is right here. And we are heading to the city. What you saw now was the plaza outside the city. This is the clock tower, and if we're talking about local shops, then there are so many here. Castro, it doesn't sound like an Israeli fashion, but it is. And it's quite a good one, I must say. You can see right there the original cover of the shopping mall. The weather is amazing. Yesterday it was 30 degrees, today it's only 28, but there's no sun yet. And we might have a little bit of rain, and I hope that we won't. To show you that it belongs to the Greek Orthodox, look at the symbol. Here it is, above the gate, and this is the Taphos, the symbol of the Holy Land Keeper by the Greek Orthodox. All right, you're not looking at the red sign. Another important place that I want you to meet, it's there. It's called Abulafia, and it's a wonderful Arabic bakery. Excellent, not so expensive, not expensive at all actually, and very fresh, very good, and it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Then where we are, according to it, this is the clock tower at Yefet Street, and Abulafia is there in Pasteur Street, but when you will reach the clock tower, everyone knows where it is, and you don't need to remember Abulafia, just say the bakery, a famous Arabic bakery. And behind those buildings It's the flea market, and I don't know if you will be able to visit it today, but I will try.